888-835-2414.
This is Learning with Leslie. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Learning with Leslie, the podcast where we focus on making an impact from home, at home, and beyond. No, I'm not talking about the kind of impact that's going to fall by the wayside when Google has a mood swing. I'm talking about the kind that will last no matter what gets thrown at it. I'm your host, Leslie Samuel from IamLeslieSamuel.com, where we're changing the world one person at a time. And as usual, I have another exciting episode for you today. In today's episode 419, I'm going to be discussing why I'm going all in on AI tech. Yes, I've been talking a lot about AI recently, and quite frankly, the last year and a half have been absolutely ridiculous when it comes to AI, with the launch of things like ChatGPT, Midjourney, the countless other AI-related startups, and even big companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple, all trying to win this AI game. There's all kinds of feelings. Some people are excited, some people are scared, some people are saying AI is taking jobs, AI is making jobs. Perspectives on all sides. And in this episode, I'm going to explain my reasoning and why I've decided to go all in. So if you want to know my take on AI, that's what we're going to be talking about today. What is up? What is up? What is up? I hope you are having a better than stupendous day. And I hope that if for some reason you're not having a better than stupendous day, by the end of this episode, it's going to be a little better, than stupendous. So yes, we're going to dive into AI and why I've made the decision to really go all in, to really embrace this technology. We're going to get into that. Some of this episode, quite frankly, I know is going to scare some people. But quite frankly, I'm comfortable with that because I believe it's going to be more helpful to many more people. So I'm just going to share my thoughts. Now, before we get into it, I got to let you know that this episode is brought to you by our channel sponsor over at Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is the all-in-one video production platform that I use to create these videos, to bring things on the screen, to do my camera switching, to do all the fancy stuff that I've been doing. And here's the beauty of it. I don't have to edit this video when it's done. I'ma just upload it and it's done. Saving me countless of hours of editing time. And that is a beautiful thing. If you are a content creator that creates videos, you need to check them out. It is Mac only, but if you do have a Mac, you can check them out over at ecamm.com/Leslie. And if you use the promo code Leslie, that's going to save you 15% off your first payment. Oh, yes. All right. We got to talk about this. We got to get into this topic of why I am going all in on AI. For you to understand this, I have to tell you a few stories because there's some significant context that you need to have to understand where I am coming from. Okay, so I'm going to rewind. We're going to rewind way back to like 2000 and I think it was around 2012. So I was a university professor and I was teaching in a doctor of physical therapy program. I was teaching anatomy and neuroscience and pathophysiology. And I really loved my job. Now, I remember one evening I was finishing up, I think it was like a neuroscience lab. And then I was going through the halls and I saw something. Once again, this is in 2012 around. It's not going to sound surprising to you, but it was the first time that this thing, this issue, this situation came on my radar in a way where I can always look back at that moment as, you know what, that was the first time that I noticed it. So it was me, a friend and I, we were walking through the halls, leaving the building, and there were a bunch of high school students there. And the high school students were all there. I'm assuming they were friends, at least they knew each other. And they all were looking in a certain way. They were all like this. They were all sitting down on the floor, looking at their devices, and just staring at these screens. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's nothing new. This is not like a revolutionary information. You're like, what? People are consumed with their smartphones? No, no, no. But it was the first time that it was so obvious because it was a bunch of them, and none were talking to each other. And I remember I was walking through it and it just struck me. And I made a joke in the moment. I said, oh man, you guys you're not even talking to each other. You're just watching your phones. And their reaction was very interesting. They kind of looked up at me because they were startled that I was talking to them. They looked up at me and they laughed again. And then they went down and they continued doing exactly what they were doing. And like I said, it wasn't anything new, but it was the first time for me that I saw so many kids together, just not interacting with each other at all. Since then, that has been a very common occurrence. I mean, you go anywhere and you see that oftentimes people are more consumed with their devices than this. I know this sounds like a weird way to get into a podcast episode on why I'm going all in on AI, but don't worry. I'm setting the scene. It's not an uncommon thing. You go to a restaurant. We were at a restaurant the other day, a friend and we were sitting down, and I was looking behind. There was a lady and her, I'm assuming husband and their baby. The baby was in a what do you call the things that you put the babies in? Whatever those things. Man, I'm so removed from that right now. A baby carrier. We're just gonna call it that. And for the entire time, they did not talk to each other. They were just sitting and staring at their phones. I am a person that is a very social person. I love connecting with people. And when I'm out, sometimes me too. So this is not just me judging other people, right? Sometimes I'm in my phone when I could be talking to the person that I'm there with, or I could be engaging with my kids. This is not something that I'm saying, oh man, look at those terrible people that are always on their devices. No, I'm talking about us collectively as a society, myself included. I've been trying to make an effort to not do that much, where I'll make it a thing. Like if I'm out with friends, I'm putting my phone down, and we might even make a game out of it. Everybody put their phones down. I remember we've done this before. The first person who picks up their phone has to pay for the entire meal or something of that sort. I haven't done that in a while, but there's something significant about human interaction that I believe that we've kind of lost as a result of being so attached to our screens. That's story number one. Story number two. If you're watching on video, you might notice that I'm wearing some glasses. And these glasses are the Meta Ray-Bans. They're actually smart glasses. I just got them on Friday, and I've kind of been wearing them almost nonstop since then, because I'm trying to figure certain things out. And I'm trying to analyze this and figure out, hey, is this a technology that I would like to embrace? The idea of wearable tech and smart glasses and so on. So since getting these on Friday, I've had some interesting experiences, and I want to share some of those experiences with you. By the way, if you don't know what Ray-Ban Meta glasses are, they're smart glasses where, I have a camera here, so I can take a picture right now. If I do this, I just clicked and it took a picture of what I'm looking at. So my studio here, if I hold it down, I can take a video of what's going on. I can talk to it because it has Meta AI built in. So I can say, hey, Meta, I am traveling to San Diego next week. I'm not, but let's say I'm traveling to San Diego next week. I'm going to be around the San Diego Convention Center. Where's a good place that I can get really good Mexican food there? And then we're going to see what it does. It's processing.
Good Mexican restaurants around the San Diego Convention Center, including Adalberto's Mexican Food, Los Tito's Mexican Food, Valentine's Mexican Food, and Puesto at the headquarters.
Oh, okay. So now I know of some Mexican food places that I can check out when I go to San Diego. So it has AI baked in to where I can just ask it a question, or I can ask it to take a picture or take a video or whatever the case might be. And, I'm just looking at stuff and it's taking that picture and taking that video. So that's what it is, just in case you weren't aware of what these were. So I've had a few very interesting experiences since then. First experience, on Saturday morning, every Saturday morning, I go for a long walk. And when I go for a long walk, I will be listening to a podcast. I do this Bible study thing where I'm listening to a podcast that really breaks down the stuff that I'm studying. Then I listen to some music and I'm just there and I'm chilling. Now, you can listen to music on this. And when you're listening to music on this, or you're listening to a podcast, you're hearing it. But unless it's turned up really loud, the people around you, they don't hear it. So it just looks like a person that is walking. I just look like a person that is walking and I'm not listening to anything. It doesn't look like I'm listening to anything. It doesn't look like I'm doing anything but walking. Now, here's what was interesting about this. I'm on this walk. This is a walk that I do every single week. And as I'm walking, I walk and I see people. A lot of people pass me because other people walk. This time that I went walking, what was interesting is that more people said hi to me and started conversations than ever before. And that struck me as weird. But then I thought about it. Normally, when I go on my walk, I'm wearing AirPods. And when you're wearing AirPods, it's as if you're in your own little world, right? People can tell. It's like a social cue. Don't bother me. I'm consumed with whatever it is I'm listening to. Some people will put in AirPods even when they're not listening to anything, just so that the people around them won't bother them. Anyhow, so more people said hi to me. And I realized that it was because I didn't look as if I was consumed with other stuff. I didn't look like I was listening to something, even though I was. I didn't look as if I was busy. I was just walking. And that was an extremely interesting experience. In addition to that, by the way, it's summertime. So if you hear noise in the background, it might be kids playing or practicing violin or dogs barking. I've decided that I'm not going to stop them. So if you hear any extra stuff, I don't know if the mic is going to pick it up or not. But if you hear extra stuff, that's what's going on. And you're just going to have to accept it. If you don't accept it, that's your business. But that's just the way it's going to be. Anyhow, so some other experiences. On Friday, I went to a birthday party with my son. One of his schoolmates had a birthday, and we went to this place, and we were there, we were having fun, and it was time for them to cut the cake. When it was time for them to cut the cake, everybody gathered around, and everyone, of course, is with their devices out and so on, which is normal, which is what I would be doing. But the difference is I was not. I was just there. And I was just looking. And when it was time to take a picture, I just, tapped my glasses and I took the picture, but I was fully there, not withdrawn from the moment by looking at a screen. It was a different experience because while the tech was there, the tech was not as consuming. And I found that to be a very interesting experience. No one could tell that I was wearing smart glasses. Hardly anyone. I've worn it all weekend, and I think maybe one person, just one person. And I interacted with a lot of people. We had a potluck here with a bunch of people. One person asked me, wait a minute, are those smart glasses? Some other people asked me, like, wait a minute, you wear glasses? But for the most part, the tech was behind the scenes. And because of that, it wasn't as all consuming as it had been in the past. Now, there were also some weird moments because I can make calls on this. And I was talking to my wife when I went to Publix supermarket, and I was talking to my wife while going to get a cart from one of the workers. And because I was just talking, I didn't have on AirPods, he thought I was talking to him. So he's like, wait, I don't know what you, can you say that again? And I'm like, no, no, no. And I'm pointing to my glasses. And I realized after the fact that I just probably look like a crazy person. Like, no, 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 I'm talking to you, but look, I'm pointing at my head. Maybe I'm crazy or something. So I quickly realized that when it comes to, having conversations in public on the phone, I'm not going to do that with these glasses. Anyhow, so those were some of the experiences that I've had since wearing these Meta Ray-Bans. I mean, Ray-Ban Metas, whatever order it goes in. Okay. So that's story number 2, wearing these smart glasses that have AI baked in, and how it was a different experience because while the tech was there, the tech wasn't as present, as noticeable. Story number 3. So I started using this service called Limitless, and it's one of those services that will transcribe your meetings and then give you notes from your meetings and all of that stuff. And I was in a mastermind meeting last week where I was in the hot seat. So I go in the hot seat. I am talking about the things that I'm trying to decide in my business. The other members of the mastermind are giving me advice and asking me questions. And it was a really engaging mastermind session. When that mastermind session was... oh, wow. I'm getting messages on my phone. That was distracting. I got a message on my phone just now. I should put my stuff in Do Not Disturb. There we go. Okay. Oh, stop it. Stop it. All right. So this is actually kind of funny on this episode where I'm talking about the Meta Ray-Bans. Anyhow, so I got out of the hot seat and something fascinating happened. At the end of the hot seat, and this was a really good hot seat, a pop-up came up. And the pop-up said something like this: would you like me to summarize the meeting that you have? Or would you like me to summarize it plus draft an email? And I was like, wait, what? Summarize plus draft an email? Let me try it out. So I clicked on summarized plus draft email. And within a few seconds, I had a detailed summary of everything that just took place. Plus, I had an email. My email app that I use popped up, and a draft was there summarizing the email for me to send to whoever was a part of the mastermind meeting. And it was so good. It blew my mind. Here's why it blew my mind. I will have, one of the things that I do is I offer coaching for high-level entrepreneurs. And in order to get clients, I will do coaching experiences where I get on a call with someone for 90 minutes and I coach them as if they were my paid coaching clients. And in many cases, that leads to nothing. And that's perfectly fine. It's my way of investing in that person. Now, one of the things that I like to do is send a follow-up email with like notes from the coaching call with, action items and that kind of stuff. But the reality is what often ends up happening is I don't do it. Why don't I do it? Because it will take time to kind of go through and distill my notes and my thoughts and so on. But in an instant, I had all of that ready to go. And it took me zero effort. All I had to do, I wasn't normally when I'm doing in my hot seat, I'm trying to take notes and all of this stuff. But in this case, all I did while I was in the hot seat was share and receive. All I did was connected with the people that were on that call, and they connected with me, and I wasn't distracted by trying to take notes. I wasn't distracted by anything because I was just focused on the experience that I was having in that virtual room. And when I was done, the AI did a much better job than I would have at summarizing the notes of that experience. Now, fast forward, I get on another call with someone, and the AI prepped me for the call. It will tell me, for example, hey, you have a coaching call with this client coming up. Remember the last time you said, or you guys discussed her or him doing such and such. Make sure to follow up on that this time. So now when I go into a meeting, I am prepared for that meeting because it serves me up the information that I need to set the context. And while I'm in that meeting, I'm no longer trying to take notes and trying to get the highlights of stuff. I'm just looking at that person in their eyes, and I'm connecting with that person and trying to serve that person as best as humanly possible. And when I am done, the email is drafted automatically. That for me is amazing. And the same company, Limitless, they're coming out with their pendant. And I already placed my order because I see the value in it so significantly. But this pendant, what it will do is this little tiny device that you wear. You could put it, you can pin it onto your shirt. You could put it on a chain or whatever you want to do. And I can be at an event where oftentimes at events, I will coach people that, we'll go to a room and we'll just discuss what they have going on in their businesses and so on. Imagine me being at that event and being able to say, hey, because one of the things that it does very well is in order for it to record the other person and to transcribe what they're saying, they actually have to give permission. So I can say, hey, I'm gonna coach you right now very deeply. Do I have your permission to record this? And usually whenever I ask someone that, they're like, yes, because then they can get the recording and they can get value from that. But imagine now, as I am connecting with them, it is keeping track of this because they've given permission, and it can summarize that and draft an email for me to follow up with them the next time we meet. And or the next time we connect, and the next time we connect, it can then tell me, hey, remember, this is the person you met at Social Media Marketing World, and they were interested in this and they were interested in that, and remember their son was playing that football game and yada yada yada. Like, how much more effective does that make my interaction with that person? Here's what I know about myself. My memory sucks. Unless I've spent a bunch of time studying, my memory sucks. I get biology because I've studied it so much. I get social media and marketing because I've spent I don't know how many thousands of hours consuming content and experimenting and testing and tweaking and so on. But if you tell me something today, tomorrow is gone. In many situations. How much more effective will this make me at my job? When I go into a meeting, I am very well prepped. When I come out of a meeting, I have everything that I need to know from that meeting in a concise form that can help me do a better job at what I am doing. When I think about that, when I think about the fact that this technology can augment my intelligence. We call it artificial intelligence, but I like to think about it as augmented intelligence. What would life look like if I had these tools that were augmenting my intelligence, serving me up the information that I need in the moment to be most effective at my job? What if I could use technology in a way where when I am outside playing games with my kids, we're playing pickleball and I want to capture a moment. I don't have to change what I'm doing. I can continue fully just playing pickleball with my kids. and have it record what we're doing together. When we go to a place like Urban Air and my son was out there and he was doing dodgeball on the trampolines, and I just kind of tapped here and it was recording what I was watching, and I didn't have to worry about holding a device, looking at a screen or anything. All I had to do and all I did was watched my kid. And because I was watching my kid and I had technology that was operating in the background, I now have some awesome videos of him dodging these balls and jumping when they throw and falling to the ground when someone throw, and even getting out. And we were able to watch that when we came home last night. Like, what does life look like when technology isn't the thing that we are focusing on, but technology is the thing that allows us to focus on what matters in the moment? Ooh, that is technology that I can embrace. Now, I want to take this one step further because obviously I am a parent. I'm a parent of two amazing kids, two intelligent kids. And these two kids are growing up in a world where technology is everywhere. They're growing up in a world where there is literally no way to avoid technology and be effective. They live in a world where it's not just everywhere, but it's all encompassing. And it's a world where it's so much easier to be addicted to technology, to be addicted to AI stuff than not. Like, it's so easy to be addicted to my smartphone. It's so easy to be addicted to my computer. It's so easy because it's everywhere and it's all encompassing, and they're built in ways for me to be more addicted. Okay, so if my kids are gonna grow up in that world, and they're gonna grow up in a world where AI, quite frankly, is gonna play a bigger role moving forward than ever. Like, AI is going to be baked into everything. And I'm going to talk more about like how all of the major companies right now are building AI into what they do. That's going to be next week's episodes. We're going to talk about the summer of AI because I believe that there are things that are happening right now that we as entrepreneurs, as content creators, as business owners need to be aware of because they're going to influence our lives for the next decade at least. What's happening this summer is huge. And maybe you don't know about all of it. I'm going to break some of that down next week. So if they're going to be living in this world, I don't want them to have to navigate that world on their own. I want to be up on what is happening. I want to be in the know. I want to be the guy that that cares so much about them that I make it a priority to understand the technology that's going to be such a big part of their lives moving forward. I want to be able to help them in the best way possible. A lot of times what happens is, we get older and then there's this new wave of technology and we say, that's for the kids. Listen, this stuff is too powerful to let my kids navigate on their own. There's a lot happening and I want to be on top of it. So here's the reality. ChatGPT went live a year and a half ago. And it's taken the world by storm. It is the fastest technology in terms of adoption in the history of mankind. And there's an AI race that is happening right now. Everybody wants a piece of the pie because they see this as a big this is the thing of the future, not just the thing of the future. This is the thing of the right now. There's a lot happening when it comes to research and science and technology and biology. As a biologist, quite frankly, what is happening in AI right now excites me. I think it's even more exciting when it comes to biology than it is when it comes to content creation and entrepreneurship. And as someone with a biology channel with almost 300,000 subscribers, I want to explore that more. I want to know more about how AI is solving so many of the medical issues that we have today. How these smart stethoscopes are able to detect things that, unless you are really, really, really good at your job and you have tons of years of experience, you're not able to determine these things because you just don't know enough. But AI can help by comparing it to a large body of data and giving you instant information that can be potentially life-saving. I think that's even bigger than the making videos and all that kind of stuff. Not I think, it is huge. There's so many implications when it comes to AI, medicine, the medical field, and disruptions that are gonna take place in all of that. I want to be in the know. I'm personally very interested in understanding not just AI and tech, but how I can better leverage this stuff to enhance my human experiences. I want to be that guy. I want to explore it at that level. Now, I haven't figured it all out yet. I'm the learning with Leslie guy, right? I want to do things and learn and share what I'm learning. So I'm going to try out different things. And some of this stuff that I'm going to try out, I'm not necessarily going to be recommending for people to use, but I want to understand it at a deeper level. And some of it won't stick. Who knows? Maybe these smart glasses are just here for a short period of time until I realize, wait a minute, what I thought it was, it's not really. A lot of what I will try is just going to be that. I'm trying these things because I want to better understand this world. Okay, so what does all in on AI look like for me? Well, let me share that. It means that on a daily basis, like I do with so many other things, that if I want to learn more about something for like this period of time, it means I'm studying it daily. It means I'm testing out different products and services regularly. And of course, I'm going to be sharing a lot of what I'm learning with you, not just in this podcast, but on the videos on my channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to do that. You can go to lesliesamuel.tv and it'll take you directly to the YouTube channel where you can subscribe. It means that I might be seen as this weird guy that's obsessed with tech, but the reality is, what I'm trying to establish is a more balanced approach to analyzing tech and figuring out proactively how to incorporate it in my life in a responsible way. Because ultimately, what I want to do is I want to use tech and more to ultimately move tech to the background to be a better human in person. That's what I care about. I care about connecting. I care about engaging, whether that's with my kids, whether that's with my family, my friends, strangers, acquaintances, people at events, at conferences. I want to be a better human. And in order to be a better human, there are different ways you can do it. I believe that I can use tech in a more responsible way that can help me be better. It's part of why I am on day 1,675 days of exercising every single day for a minimum of 30 minutes. I've done that over the last 1,675 days. And as a result, I'm healthier. I am better. How did I do that? I leveraged technology in order to do it. So tell me that the tech was bad. No, the tech isn't bad. The tech is a tool. And just like I was proactive about figuring out how to use that tool to help me live a healthier life, I want to be more proactive about trying to figure out how to use AI and tech to help me be a better human. Okay, I got to tell you about some of the what I consider to be interesting developments that are happening right now in this space. And I want to get into that. We're going to talk more about some of it next week. But I want to show you some of the things that I'm keeping my eye on right now. Before I do that, I want to really quickly, once again, I got to talk about our sponsor, Ecamm Live. These guys are amazing human beings. And they've created this platform to help me be better at my job. They didn't do it just for me, but it helps me be better at my job. I can create this video, and when I'm done, I'm done. Why? Because it's an all-in-one video production platform that eliminates the need to edit my videos. I mean, if you're into videos and you spend a lot of time editing, or you pay a lot of money to get people to edit your stuff, and you want to eliminate that time that you're spending, or you want to save some money, check them out. Go to ecamm.com/Leslie. And if you use that link and you use the promo code Leslie, it's going to save you 15% off your first payment. So if you pay for the first year, you save 15% off the entire year. It's a beautiful thing. Head on over to ecamm.com/Leslie and check them out. All right. Interesting things I'm keeping my eye on. Right now, over the last few weeks, Microsoft just had their big Surface event where they announced and showed how they were rolling AI into all of their devices. They launched what they're calling Copilot plus PC. Now, imagine this. You are on your computer and you are trying to figure out something, and there's like a co-pilot there with you, an AI co-pilot that you can ask, hey, I'm trying to fix this website, but it's giving me issues. Can you tell me what the problem is? I'm trying to do this code. I'm trying to build this app. I'm trying to do whatever, and I'm not figuring it out. They showed a demo of a guy playing Minecraft. And as he's playing Minecraft, he's asking it to give him some insight and input. And it's just basically like a tutor that's right there helping him out in the process. Microsoft is going all in when it comes to AI, and it's interesting to see what they're doing. WWDC, that's Apple's major developer event, is coming up in 2 weeks. And the rumors have it that it's going to be all about AI and how they are rolling that into their new iOS. It's going to be the biggest update to iOS in a very long time. And I believe that's going to be significant. I stumbled onto another video recently from a company called IO. And I got to share this video with you because it's so interesting what the tech is enabling. So let's take a look at that really quick and see what this is all about.
Imagine that you're sitting in a noisy restaurant and you're having trouble hearing your friends across the table. Hey, can you enhance the sounds that are right in front of me? And can you turn that baby down? That's better. And I'm still having a little trouble hearing Pedro. Can you isolate Pedro for me?
Y después manejamos al lago.
That's perfect. And my Spanish is a little rusty. Can I hear Pedro but in English?
And at the end of the trip, we came back to the city to visit the historic center.
Michelle, close all programs. Oh, it's so much worse. Okay. It's pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool. So what you just heard was a beamforming app, a computational auditory scene analysis app, a machine learning denoising app, an AI transcription and translation and text-to-speech with style transfer app. The point is that all those audio transformations are done by software.
I mean, now tell me that's not crazy. They're able to use technology and AI in a headset that allows you to do all that thing. So now imagine being able to travel anywhere in the world, talking to people that you would never be able to communicate with, and you understand them because the technology is enabling you to understand what they're saying. When I think about things like that, I think to myself, wow, this is powerful and kind of scary and crazy and sometimes creepy and all of that stuff. But I also think to myself, if used well, if used appropriately, that facilitates experiences that I would never normally be able to have. And that, to me, is extremely exciting. So, AI is here. I believe it's here to stay. And I believe that it will be misused. I think it can be scary. I think it can be exciting. I think there's so much happening that it can be overwhelming. But I've committed myself to exploring because that's the kind of person that I am. I'm an explorer. I'm a researcher. But above all, what I care about is I want to live the best, most productive, most effective life. I want to be surrounded by people that I care about. I want to engage with people that I care about. I want to be more human. I want to have more human experiences, more real, authentic, genuine experiences. And if I can leverage technology in a positive way to make that happen, I see it personally because of the gifting that I have. I see it as my responsibility. And if I can help you to navigate that better, it's a win-win situation. So if you're in with me for the journey, stick along. It's going to be a wild ride. We're going to have fun. But that's it for this episode. My name is Leslie Samuel from I Am Leslie Samuel. We're changing the world one blog, one person at a time. And until next time, take care and God bless.
Eight, 8, 8, 8, 3, 5.